Welcome back. Latinas Evolving has made it their mission to empower Latina business owners up Buffalo, and I'm joined now by Tyrene and Jalicia with more details on how they work to accomplish this. Welcome, ladies. Thanks for joining me.
Thank you for having us.
Of course. Let's start off by giving us some background on Latinas Evolving and what personal experiences inspired you to start it.
Yeah, absolutely. So Latinas Evolving started at a point in my life where I felt very unheard and unseen at a job that I was at. And I wanted to find a way to bridge the gap between the corporate world and the nonprofit world. I worked in the nonprofit world for many years, and I wanted to find a way to give back, but while still being able to provide for my family.
Right.
And then I worked in workforce development prior to the pandemic, and that really helped me identify that there was a huge need in our community where we need more relatable faces and individuals that speak the language in spaces that are needed for workforce development, professional development, and personal development. And therefore started Latinas Evolving, and no pun intended, it kind of evolved on its own by other in classes or individuals asking us to do things for Hispanic Heritage Month. And therefore we came out with the first panel discussion, which was focused on diversity and inclusion while talking about the journeys. And I wanted to make sure to highlight Latinas who are leaders or entrepreneurs that were doing the work but are the underdogs, the individuals that you don't really notice doing the work or that are not really celebrated every single year. And we wanted to make sure to just highlight those individuals and feature them. And we started off by the panel discussions, it evolved into the social media campaigns, and then to our magazine.
So let's go deeper into what your overall mission is. I know it's continued to evolve, but what are you trying to accomplish?
Really empower Latina entrepreneurs, connecting excellence, empowering their growth and inspiring impact within the community. And we do that through several different ways, not only through our social media campaigns and magazine, but also through our Cafecito series, which really what we do is have gatherings at different Latina-owned businesses. And at those businesses, we showcase what their journeys are, let them talk about how they got to their, through their journey, as well as buy their goods and services and provide an opportunity for other Latina entrepreneurs and our allies to be in their space, see what they're doing, and partner up with them, collaborate with them.
Yeah, I'll say as a Latina who is not from Buffalo, Tyrene has done a really great job at making this community feel seen and accessible.
Nice. Yeah, let's get more into the magazine. And I know that, obviously you've had this, and it's, like you said, had an impact on people like yourself. How have you seen that?
I don't know.
So one of the things that Tyrene really focused on was strategic placement of the magazine. So she really thought intentionally about where this magazine would be made accessible to people at different businesses and, just where there's high traffic. And so because of that, the stories that are filled in those pages have been told. It's made an impact on the businesses that are highlighted in there. And we've put together some details about, just how we've seen our community flourish because of that.
Well, I know that people can actually nominate other businesses or people to be featured in this magazine, right? Tell us how that works.
Yes. So right now there is a nomination for this year's magazine. It expires on March 31st. Okay. So they have from now to March 31st to nominate a Latina entrepreneur or leader, or as well as Latino entrepreneur or leader that advocates for Latinas. And they do that. They could go right to our website, go to the magazine portion tab, and it talks about all the prerequisites of what this person needs. But yeah, it's an amazing process to be able to put that out back to the community, and it's not just local, it's also global. You can nominate individuals from Puerto Rico, from different countries, from out of the state. We really want to make sure that we're highlighting individuals that should be highlighted and are not often seen.
Let's talk about your business mentorship and networking events and how they've been helpful resources.
Yeah, so the Cafecito series has been a huge resource. We actually were one of the round 3 winners for Springboard New York last year. That has helped this year for us to be able to push that forward. And like I mentioned before, is that we are able to go to the Latina-owned businesses and help them and promote them that way by showcasing them. How else would you say?
I would say one of the things that we've done is make those events both in person and online so that you have a chance to network with your community at Latina-owned businesses in and around Buffalo. And also, if accessibility is a problem, if transportation is a problem, or if your life just gets busy, you can hop on and network virtually as well.
Yes.
Amazing. Well, ladies, thank you so much for coming in and sharing more about this and letting us highlight the great work that you've done in our community. Viewers, if you would like to learn more about their mission and upcoming events for Latinas Evolving, or if you'd like to submit a nomination for their magazine, you can visit latinasevolving.com. Thanks again for coming in, ladies.
Thank you
you
again
so
for having
much.
us.
Coming up.